What's up guys, here in this video I'm going to be showing you how to bulk generate logo mockups in Photoshop. This is going to be an automated process that'll really help to speed up your workflow, whether you're creating business card mockups, whether you're doing stationery, whether you're doing company logos on walls or buildings, whatever it happens to be. This process will really help you to save a ton of time on this part of your workflow. So we're going to be automating this using a Photoshop plugin called Batch Replace Smart Objects. You can find a link in the description of this video. This is a plugin that you can install from the official Adobe Exchange, and it really makes it quite simple to completely automate this part of your workflow. We're going to set up an automated operation. I'm going to show you how to use this to automate your logo mockup creation. So let's jump into it. So up here in this top section, you can either use an entire folder of all of your mockups, or you can just use one individual Photoshop document at a time. Here in my logo mockups folder, I have a number of different mockup scenes, business cards, stationery, stuff like that. We're just going to start off with one operation just to show you how to use this plugin and how to get it working for your needs. You also want to make sure your mockup is set up correctly, because a lot of mockup files are set up in just strange ways. Like this pack that I downloaded here, the mockups themselves are like really good quality. Like this is a really good fucking mockup, but what looks like the main mockup file is actually like just some weird smart object that's like somehow linked or connected to the other ones, and if you tried running the operation on this smart object, it would not work as intended. So we're going to find the correct target smart object layer. Inside of here, we have a logo file. This one looks pretty promising. I'm just going to do a quick little test replacement, make sure this is the correct one, and yeah, it looks like that's the one that we actually want to be operating on. So now that our target smart object layer is selected or highlighted in the layer stack, we're going to go ahead and point to this particular PSD mockup file, logo on the building mockup 1.psd. So I'm just going to find it here. Right here, this is the one. So that's good, that's selected. Next, we're going to select our input folder to use. This is going to be the folder containing our actual logo designs that we want to mock up here on the building. So I'm just going to navigate here, find my folder of logo designs, select, and that's ready to go. Inside of this folder here, I have, if I can pull it up here for you, it's a variety of different logos. Maybe you landed a bunch of big name clients like, the ABC company, the Very Cool company, XYZ company, whatever it happens to be. All of these are in PNG file type, and you'll see that the transparency gets retained when you run the operations using this plugin. So especially for a logo design workflow, that's a feature that comes in handy. If you're curious about the accepted file types for this plugin, you can check this list here inside of it: PNG, JPEG, TIFF, PDF, PSD, pretty much any commonly used file type. If you need to preserve layering, if you want to point to original PSD files, maybe you work in Illustrator with, vector file types like EPS or AI file types, whatever it is. It's very flexible in terms of what it accepts in the input folder, so you can throw just about anything at it, and it supports a lot of different logo designer workflows. Anyway, that's selected, and those are the images it's going to use for this particular mockup file. So here you can select the resize and placement rule that you want to use for this operation. Now, for a logo design workflow, you got to be careful about which one you select, because if you're stretching to fit the smart object, that's actually probably not ideal, because, all of these have different configurations. Some of them are more vertical in orientation, some of them are a lot more horizontal in orientation, and if you're stretching all of the images to fit this smart object area, it's probably not going to lead to an optimal result. If we double click this and step into it, you can see this is sort of the smart object area that it's using here. And so I think in this particular case, what would probably make the most sense is to use the contain inside smart object setting, and we're going to do just a center alignment. And then output folder to use, that's just where you want to export the final created mockup images to. We're just going to select our folder of final logo mockups like so. And then you can select whatever file type you want to use for the exports. I'm just going to use simple JPEG for this operation, but there's lots of options here: PNG, PSD, TIFF, WebP, whatever you need. It supports a lot of different file types. You can configure the quality if you want to do really high quality images, or if you want to apply compression, you can go towards the lower end of this little spectrum here. Really whatever works for your workflow. If you want to do artwork file name first, you can leave it like this. If you want to do PSD file name at the front, you can invert this. We're just going to use the default artwork file name first, and that's going to organize everything in the folder by the file name of the images. So let's go ahead and run this operation, set up using this particular mockup. So as you can see, it's pretty much doing what we wanted to. So it's looping through each of the images inside of the input folder. For each of the images, it's basically resizing it based upon the rule that we selected in terms of, you know, the placement and sizing and all that stuff. And then it's replacing the smart object in the mockup scene with the updated image. And then it just exports the final image to the specified folder. It's doing all of this automatically, so you don't need to waste your time opening the smart object, diddling around, resizing the image, doing any of that stuff. Instead, you can just sort of configure your automated operation, set up the rule, and then just let it run on autopilot and create all your mockups in bulk automatically for you. And it looks like this operation is completely finished. In case you're wondering what the fuck this green monstrosity is here. So what the plugin does is it basically just resets your smart object to the original size and aspect ratio and dimensions that it started with. This is a handy feature because if you're using a setting like contain inside smart object or fill the smart object and crop, what's happening is you're replacing the original image and contents of the smart object with whatever image it happens to be on. So it just sort of resets it at the end, even though it looks kind of stupid right now. So this is basically just the original smart object area that first logo took up. This just sort of makes it explicit and just sort of shows you like that, you know, this is the mockup area here. And yeah, it just sort of resets it for you. Anyway, let's take a look at our final created mockups in our output folder. As you can see, everything looks pretty goddamn good for just some ramshackle logos that I just sort of slapped together here. I'd say I'm pretty happy with the end result. It's also a very good mockup in general. But yeah, you know, here we have a total variety of different mockup styles. Some of them are a lot more horizontally oriented, some of them are more square in configuration. This one's dope, the Cool Company, and there's a snowflake. Isn't that fucking clever? Yeah, that's a pretty sweet logo, I know. But yeah, the end result is very solid. Very Cool Company, very good business. Very good business, XYZ company. The end result turned out to be pretty good. And you can imagine we just used, you know, one mockup scene here. We just used a small little pack of a couple dozen logos. But if you have a whole suite of mockups that you need to create here, if you have, you know, business cards, they want to see stationery, they want to see mock it up inside of an office, they want the works, then, you know, this workflow, the process of doing this manually, one at a time, you know, you can imagine coming into Photoshop, doing this one by one. You have to replace the smart object, you have to find your image, you have to drop it in here, you have to export, give it a file name. It's a lot of really tedious, repetitive, boring work, and this Photoshop plugin does a fantastic job of automating this process for you. That's the process for just using one individual mockup. Recall that you can flip it into folder of PSD files mode and work with entire folders of mockup scenes at a time. You can also save operations to run later, so once you have your optimal configuration, all your settings, everything is good the way you want it, you can just say make building mockups. It'll save this operation, and all of your saved operations will show up in the Batches tab here. If you got a more complicated workflow that you have, cool, you can just create a new workflow, make my logo mockups. You can save step 1, building mockups. You can save step 2 with whatever configuration you have up here, step 3, step 4, and so forth, and you can just run all of that with one single button click. So saved operations up here in the Batches tab, you can just type logo, or did I say building, make building mockups. You can find your saved operation, or you can just sort of scan them all and see what you have here. Workflow, similar idea. You can just come in here and you can just say logo, make my logo mockups, run workflow, and it'll just run through all of the saved steps that you have for the saved operation here. So we're going to flip it over into folder of PSD files mode. We're going to use a couple different types of mockups, and I just want to show you some of the other useful features this plugin has for logo designers, and also answer some other questions you might have about whether this plugin will work for your particular workflow. Something you'll commonly see are business card mockups, or mockups where there's more than one smart object, basically. So at the time of this recording, this plugin does support mockups with multiple smart objects, but it is limited to replacing the smart objects with the same current image that it's on in the artwork folder. So if your logo designs folder, let's say we start with 123 Industries, we start with this image here, it'll replace both of the smart objects that you have selected with the current image that it's on. So it'll change both of these, and then it'll move on to image number 2. It'll replace both of these, then it'll move on to number 3, and so forth. Some people have requested a feature where, you know, maybe you add something that lets you, like, you know, smart object 1 points to folder number 1, smart object 2 points to a totally different folder or whatever. Maybe in the future we'll add that in a future update. You can always check our Adobe listing page for the most recent explanations of features and functionalities that are available, because it's possible at the time that you're watching this video, maybe we added that feature. Maybe the plugin does support that. Currently, it is limited to, yes, you can just select multiple smart objects and run the automated operation, but it's going to replace the selected smart objects with whatever current image that it's on from the input folder. Still, for this style of mockup where you're just using the same client logo to, drop it into a scene, that's useful and functional enough, and, it works for a lot of these logo design workflows. So we're going to run an operation using a business card mockup like this. We'll select multiple smart objects, and then we'll run another operation using another type of mockup as well, just to show you the folder of PSD files mode. So one thing worth noting, if you're going to use this folder of PSD files mode, you want to make sure that the file is saved in a state where your target smart object layer is selected, because since the plugin needs to know what smart object to operate on, if it's a complicated scene with a lot of smart objects, basically if there's more than one smart object inside of the scene, then it's going to ask or require that you select at least one of the smart object layers so it knows what to operate on. Now, if it's a simple scene, like I had one open. Like this one is pretty simple. This is a pretty simple scene where there's one smart object total in the whole document. The plugin, cool, it just knows that's probably the one you want to use, and it'll just use that intelligently. But if it's something more complicated where there's a lot of different smart objects all over the place, then in that case, you are going to have it selected. And so if I was using something like this, you could just make some trivial change, like logo, smart object. If you change the name of a layer, for example, then you can save the layer and it'll save the new selection of the layer. Because if you just come here and you just say, haha, I will select this layer, and then click save, it's not going to register that as like a significant enough event to be worth saving. And so you can do Control S all day long and it just doesn't save anything down here. If you come here, by contrast, just make a trivial change like that, and then you hit save. Then it actually updates that, saves it, so when you open the document using this folder of PSD files mode, it'll know, cool, that's the selection that was made the last time the person was here using this plugin. Anyway, if you're operating in this mode, that's something that'll save you some headaches, because otherwise it'll run. It might give you a little pop-up message saying, hey, what the fuck, man, what smart object do you want to use? So yeah, just make sure before you load up and prepare your mockups, save them in a state where your desired layer is selected. So once the setup work is done, this makes it super easy. You just select folder of PSD files to use, folder of PSD mockups, that's selected. Then you select the input folder to use. You come here, logo designs 2, that's selected. Then you go output folder to use, final mockups 2. Then all you need to do is just decide upon your placement and resize rule. In my opinion, contain inside smart object makes the most sense for this type of workflow. You can set up the vertical and horizontal alignment to your liking if you want to go maybe, top vertical alignment and then center horizontally, or you want to do bottom inside of the smart object. Center makes the most sense, so that's what I'm going to use here. That's really it. I know there's a lot of blabbing and talking going on my part, but in terms of the operation setup, oh nice, I picked the wrong mockup, aren't I a fucking moron? Did I just use both of the wrong mockup files? Man, I'm a fucking idiot, bro. So yeah, we got it all set up. Let's go ahead and run this operation. It's going to proceed with our operation. So here it's using 2 smart objects for 1, 2, 3 industries. And then it's going to do the export for us. Obviously kind of looks like shit because it's just plain logos being dropped on a business card, but just for the sake of a quick demo of what's possible. The Cool Company, man, that's a fucking sick logo right there. So as you can see, it replaces both of the selected smart objects first, and then it does the export to the output folder. And then it did the little reset back there. So here we're on to this next one, the logo on the wall. It's a bigger smart object than I expected. And this operation is completely finished. Take a quick gander at our export folder. So obviously in terms of like smart object sizing, if you want the plugin to not use the full area, then you can just configure the smart object to be smaller, take up less space in the scene, for example. So maybe you might look at this output and you might say, hey, that's way too big. This takes up too much space on the business card. Maybe I want to go for like half the size. You can always just come into the scene and you can just sort of resize how much space this takes up. If you want to say like, hey, I'm going more for like an 80% for this one. Then if you rerun the operation, it'll take up a smaller amount of space inside of the mockup. Same idea with this other one. If you just feel like, man, this was just way too big, took up way too much space, you could just set it to be maybe 75%. And now that this is sized a little more reasonably, we can go ahead and just rerun this operation using those same mockups. And as you can see, it's not taking up the full space like it originally was. Instead, the logos are sized a lot more appropriately to where it looks a little more like an actual business card. So yeah, there's a lot of variability in mockup files that you'll download online, unfortunately. So I mean, you do have to like do a little bit of setup work to get it to where the outputted results will look like what you're going for. But really just keep in mind, it's just a couple of simple principles. Number one, just find the target smart object layer that you want it to do the replacement on. Just make sure that's selected and just, you know, save your document to where it's in that selected state when you open it. And then number two, just make sure the smart object itself is sized optimally inside of the scene, and then you'll end up with some pretty good looking mockups. So definitely better size compared against what we saw the first time around. Required a little bit of trial and error, but once your workflow is standardized, you have it all set up correctly. Cool, finally, now I can say final mockup creation workflow 1. Everything's good. Now, instead of doing all of that shit over and over again, do the setup work once, come here, find it, click one button, automate the creation of all your logo mockups in bulk inside of Photoshop. Hope you found this helpful, and I hope this plugin is useful for your mockup creation workflow. There's a link in the description if you want to add this to Photoshop and save a ton of time on this boring, repetitive part of your workflow. Thank you guys for watching. See you later.